chalk this one up to a little bit of weirdness from Microsoft. It's strange indeed. I don't understand this. So a bit of a warning comes out. Again, what does this exactly mean? I think that's probably the big question when it comes down to it. So, I think that is one of those things that, we won't know the answer to for some time, whether or not Microsoft is able to kind of come back for that or anything like that. I just think that it's just one of those things that, us as gamers are going to have to kind of just wonder ourselves, hey, is this something that's going to actually happen? Or, what is the deal with this? But yeah, this is definitely a warning, and something's up there. Something is definitely going on with Xbox. I don't know 100% what it is, but from the hardware side, it doesn't make sense. Like they raised the prices of the console. They have the Xbox Design Lab has been shut down for 6 months now. Like something is going on, and I think that at some point we have to be able to get down to the bottom of it, and we'll see if that's something that we can actually do or not. I don't really know, but I want to talk about it. This could be an interesting video. What's up? I'm Crap Gamer. This is Crap Gamer Reviews with another video, of course. Thank you for checking it out. Please like, share, subscribe. I would appreciate it. That definitely helps out the channel and would mean a lot to me personally if you guys could do that. I do daily gaming content, so if you guys are into that and you like fun, informative content, look no further. I am the guy. Now, with that being said, like I said, this is a super interesting situation that we find ourselves in because, at the very least, it seems like, there's some things going on the hardware side that is Microsoft cutting back? Like what's the deal here? I think that's like a real question that a lot of people are asking themselves right now. And this, from the looks of it anyway, just from looking in, it doesn't look like a good thing. Like I hate to sound like that guy or whatever. I know a lot of people don't like the super negative content or whatever the case may be, but honestly, how can this be looked at as anything other than, at least troubling or questionable from Microsoft themselves, and that's something that, I look to hopefully can kind of get some information from you guys, though. But anyway, there's been a lot of people asking about the status of Xbox Design Lab over the past few weeks, and that's no surprise considering the service has been unavailable for the past 6 months. For those of you who aren't aware, Xbox Design Lab allows you to create your own custom Xbox controller, but this part of the service has been temporarily on hold since January, while Xbox quote-unquote switches to a new payment platform. So here's the thing that you guys get on there when you go there. It says, warning, Xbox Design Lab purchases are temporarily on hold while we switch to a new payment platform. You can still design and download 3D printable files for adaptive thumbstick tappers and design your favorite controller, save your designs, and share them on social media. To get notified when you can purchase again, you can find Xbox accessories at the Microsoft Store or local retailers in supported countries. So at the bottom of the website, there's a FAQ explaining that purchases will be available once they complete the transition to a new payment platform. Again, that really doesn't make a whole heck of a lot of sense, though, because if you think about it, how long does it take you to switch over to a new payment platform? Like, it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, in my opinion, and it just goes to show that, they could have anything happening. Basically, why would you have 6 months of, of a situation where this is happening? It's like, don't they get a good chunk of money from this? So that you would think that they'd want to have all this stuff kind of switched over right from the start, but no. At the end of the day, I think that it's a fairly concerning situation, and it just goes to show, that there's a lot of kind of issues with the, the idea of them actually being able to do hardware and want to do hardware and things like that. So yeah, that is concerning. I heard people maybe talk about maybe there's a possibility of them doing some sort of new controller, and so maybe that's what they're waiting for. Like, I don't 100% know what the issue is, but if you wanted kind of an idea that, hey, they don't really care much about the actual hardware itself these days, I think you can look pretty much into this and kind of grasp that aspect of it. So yeah, it's a little bit kind of strange to see this happening. Like I said, anything can happen in gaming, so I refuse to really kind of go oh, well, this probably doesn't mean something, or whatever that case may be, because clearly it can definitely mean something when stuff like this happens, but we don't know for sure yet, so it doesn't make sense to get like super upset about it, or to kind of get to that point where we're just like pissed off or whatever. But for me anyway, I do hope that this kind of is a little bit of a wake-up call that, hey, here's this multi-trillion-dollar company who does software and all this kind of stuff, but they can't get switched over to a new payment plan. Yeah, it's really weird. For those of you who are eager to find out when the Design Lab will return, if ever, there's a sign-up button that you can look to, so it's a good way to be notified, assuming that it does come back. One of the main reasons for the frustration is, of course, the lack of transparency and why it's taken so long, and we're hoping that Xbox will have some kind of statement, soon, or whatever the case may be. People are talking about it on social media and things like that. It says Design Lab has been down for far too long. Do we have an ETA on when we can use this again? Really want an Elite controller. So obviously there's a lot of people talking about it. As soon as there's more details, I'll be sure to share that with everybody. But anyway, you can, I guess, still create some of these things, which is, I guess, cool. But if you got some reports saved up for them, you can use them that way. You can still use it, but at the end of the day, I guess we'll have to wait and see. I don't know. Like, my thought is, hey, maybe it's on hold while they work on new controller versions or something along those lines. Maybe adding haptics. Maybe they fired everybody from that team, and that's why it's on hold. There's a lot of things to be kind of questioned into this. If you think about it, they had that Seville controller on the way at one point, and then maybe the Elite Series 3, and then they maybe possibly pivoted to launching the new controller with the new console in a few years. But, again, so it's like they're kind of turning away this free money, and that's a really weird situation to be in, because, at the end of the day, I feel like that's just a bad thing. It's like people want these things if they want to spend money on your product. And this is why I always go and say it doesn't seem like Microsoft really cares about people and what they want and things like that, in terms of, hey, you want our hardware or whatever, because they raised the price of their console. A lot of people thought that had to do with tariffs, but those weren't even enacted, and I guess are not even going to be enacted. And so now we have this weird situation where Microsoft hasn't lowered the prices of their platforms yet. It came out that for the month that they raised the prices, the 30% drop in hardware sales, no talk from them whatsoever. So you do kind of question kind of what's going on. I mean, all the moves that they're making for the actual hardware seem to be kind of designed around the idea that they don't want to sell hardware or something. I don't know. It's like you do everything you can not to sell it. Maybe, and this was something that I kind of pitched and thought was a possibility, which was, what if they had an abundance of these Xboxes in warehouses or whatever, and just decided to stop making hardware and just kind of burn off with the stock that they had, and so they want to make it as undesirable as possible. I always thought that was like something that they could do, and that's something that honestly, you could absolutely see happen. So again, we'll see how this kind of handles into the scheme of things, but it does seem to me anyway that there's going to be a lot of things that kind of come up that Microsoft can't really explain, and like this is one of those things. It's just weird to me. 6 months. If you don't think that there's something, it's just that there's something up with this. I don't know what to say. Like, there is definitely something going on with this. And, I can't really say specifically what I think it is, besides the fact that it doesn't seem like Microsoft's interested in selling their hardware right now. So, again, we'll wait and see. Maybe Microsoft finishes something or figures something out. But for right now, this is pretty bad, and I don't understand it personally. So maybe we'll get some kind of confirmation later. I think we'll see maybe something, but some kind of something from Microsoft regarding this would be excellent, because right now it's like we got zero accountability, we got zero transparency, and that's never a good thing. So anyway, let me know what you guys think. Rack 'em up. Crap Gamer out.